All right, we are live everywhere. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. Incredible greetings, everyone. How are you guys doing? All right, I'm trying to find my live video so I can share it out and make sure. Yeah, see, it says only me. Make sure it has the proper audience. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible morning, Yesenia. How are you? Thank you so much for commenting. What does it say? Asia? Incredible morning. I am incredible. I am amazing. Okay. How are you? All right. So I have to just make sure I get this all shared out. So if you guys could bear with me just one moment. Bear with me for just a moment. I'm going to get this all shared out. Okay. Oh, EJ. Okay. All right. Perfect, 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 perfect. How many silhouette users do we have in the, we always say in the building, but in the room, on the live? How many of you guys are already Silhouette Studio users? All right, so got that all shared out. So no one here is a Silhouette user over on TikTok. Oh, okay. I use Silhouette. Okay. Also EJ raised her hand. She uses Silhouette Studio as well. What do you guys use Silhouette Studio for? Do you use just the program or are you using a Silhouette machine also? Both. Okay. I have 7 Cameo machines. 7. So it's safe to say that I like using Silhouette. Do we have any not Canva, Cricut users in the room? I have Cricut as well. I am okay. So happiness creations and designs. Do you use or have you ever considered using Silhouette Studio to create designs? Okay, let's see. Let's see. I have the Cameo 3, 4, and the Pro. I'm not a big fan of the Pro, but some people say they do like it. I have everything from the first generation all the way to the 4. At some point, I will get a Cameo 5 Plus. I have no desire to get the Pro. I have a Caesar 24-inch one, and that one suffice. I don't really need a Cameo Pro, and I can still design in Silhouette Studio and save my file to where I can cut it via Leonardo to my Caesar. So since I have that one, and I like the way it cuts. So I currently don't have any desire for the Pro for Silhouette. Oh, she says, "Oh, me either. I hate the Pro." Oh, okay. It's sitting, never cuts right. Yeah, that's been kind of the kind of been like, what a lot of people are dealing with. Like it's you know it's one of those things. All right, so let's see who all is watching over here. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. Thank you, Don, for being the first one to comment over on YouTube. I don't know which YouTube channels you guys are on. Kit Kat, hello, hello, hello. Hi, love your videos. Thank you so much for, hopefully that means that you are a subscriber. Thank you for subscribing, or just thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed yet, glad that we are providing you content that you love. Incredible greetings, LaShonda. That's my city girl, period. Hello, hello, Myrna. How are you? Miss Miller, how art thou? Jane, let's see, me. So, okay, Silhouette Addict here, okay? So we have a couple Silhouette users, the machine and the program. I use both. Everything design and print and cut. Print and cut is what I got my Silhouette. My first Silhouette for was to do print and cut. It was a huge waste of money. I tried to warn people, but I was the minority in the room. I wasn't the majority, which was who was saying that the Cameo 4 Pro had a lot of issues, and I foresaw all of those issues as soon as I saw the machine. Both. I use both. Yes, Cricut 2. I have it, but I don't use it. I use Cricut 2. I use Silhouette for everything, even Cricut. Yes, you can design in Silhouette Studio and then use those designs to cut with your Cricut machine, just not directly from Silhouette Studio. You just have to save it. I also use Silhouette software, but I have a Cameo 3 and 4 in business edition, but they're still in the box because I don't know how to use Silhouette Studio. Well, you are in the right place, Melissa. I can promise you that. I have been teaching Silhouette Studio for 10 years now. We have some really beginner-friendly things on our channel, but we also have some intermediate and advanced things on our channel. So if you come across some of those advanced type learnings and teachings, don't run away from it. Don't be scared of it. I promise you, if you take the time to actually learn Silhouette Studio and learn the essentials and the foundations and how the tools work and things of that nature, using Silhouette Studio will become a cakewalk. But you have to dedicate time to actually wanting to learn it and trying out different things. I am one where projects are great. So some people feel like they learn a program or just learn how to do something being completely like hands-on. And in the case of like Silhouette Studio, they feel like they learn better if they're doing an actual project of some sort. Now, I'm not one that totally agrees with that. I think that getting into projects can really help you with like designing, right? And just getting a hang of like design concepts, layout. But when it comes to learning something new, especially a design program, I believe in setting the foundation first. Learn these tools, identify where they are at, get to know their very, very basic function, right? It makes it easier when you are trying to watch tutorials or demonstrations. Like, we like YouTube videos or YouTube tutorials and TikTok demos and videos and things like that. And I often get comments like, "Oh, well, you move too fast. Oh, I really like this. I really want to learn this, but you move too fast for me." And it's not that I move too fast, because I'll go back through it. I have a tendency to talk really fast. Over the past couple of years, I am learning to control, my speed. I'm going back to my debate days and learning to add pauses so that the hearer can capture and like really process what I'm saying. And I go to my videos, I'm like, no, I'm doing all these things. And I realize the problem isn't that I'm moving too fast or I'm clicking, they can't tell what I'm clicking. You can't go super, super slow in a tutorial, right? You'll lose the majority of the people's attention. The issue is they don't know the system. They don't know the layout. They don't know the terminology. If you take the time to at least learn the vocabulary of a program, what are the tools called? What does the icon look like? If you're watching something and if you just hear, let's say, modify, right? I'm going to modify and subtract. If you knew where the icons were, you know to go to this tool because that's going to bring up your modify panel. If I'm saying I'm going to offset, if you went through and learned the tools and identified them, you would know to go here. If I say something like group, there are several ways that you can group in Silhouette Studio. You can right click and group. There is an icon for group in like 2 different places. There is the word group that you can get to. Like, if you go to the top, there's also keyboard shortcuts. I am a keyboard shortcut junkie, right? So when I'm doing tutorials, sometimes if I say, okay, we're going to go ahead and group this, I'm using a keyboard shortcut. I don't always say that I'm using a keyboard shortcut. But if you learned all of the different ways to group and whichever way is comfortable for you, if you hear me say group, you'll know to actually do whatever method you prefer to do for group. Or if I happen to click on the icon that comes up at the top for grouping. You may not have seen me move there, but I tend to always say like every step that I'm doing. So if I say group, even though I go up here to group, if that's not where you're comfortable with going at for grouping, you would do whatever you prefer. Like me, I am a keyboard shortcut junkie. Control G, Command G on the Mac. That's my vibe. So if you take the time, like I said, if you just take the time to learn it, we have a program that teaches you the inside outs, like from beginning, not say beginning to end, but like all the essential tools, because beginning to end can be different for everyone. But we go through and break down every single tool. We break down, hold on, let me fix y'all over here. We break down every single tool. We go over their basic functions, and we also do some designing, and I give like homework and things like that. It is 55% off today, Simple Saturdays. So you can check that out after or during this live broadcast, okay? Just stopping in because I got an alert. You were live. Have an fantastic day. I have a full schedule today. I do too. That's why I got to hurry up and get these in. But thank you so much for tapping in and just showing some love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for the likes before you leave. Thanks so much. Incredible morning, Shawnee D. I remember you saying it, but didn't listen. And I wish I did. I've been following you for a long time. I'm thinking of it, Juliet. Any thoughts? If you already have a 12-inch machine, I mean, they all pretty much do the same thing. So if you already have a 12-inch machine, it's not like this game-changing, life-altering, experience to get it. It's a decent machine. So if you don't have one, hey, it's a great way to go. I'm just not a big fan of the program and the versatility of it. But as far as getting the 24-inch and you wanted a craft version of like a larger cut surface, the Romeo is great. But I don't feel like you need to go out and get a Juliet if you already have a Cameo or a Cricut. All right. Incredible morning. Okay, so let's see. Incredible morning. Hello, 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 hello. Can we please hit the thumbs up? You know it will be some good information. Thank you so much for that, Sharon. Incredible morning, everyone. Professor, it's been a while checking in from Virginia. Professor and I learned so much about Silhouette Studio. Incredible greetings. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for checking in. All right. So what we're going to do today, I did you know what? Hold on, y'all. I completely forgot to add. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to have to delete some stuff. I forgot to add the pictures. Hold on. delete. Oh, you know what? I don't have to do it that way. Duh, Shakia, you're sharing your screen. Girl, just open the pictures. Okay. Okay. So I made a, can y'all see that? Let me see. Maybe I can zoom. Ooh, child, I didn't mean to zoom in that much. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right. Okay. You so rude. All right, there we go. So I've done umbrellas before with sublimation. That, I mean, I haven't done one on a like a live video or just a regular video in a long time. Umbrellas are made of polyester. And I have done videos several times. I made like a promotional video, I mean, a promotional umbrella for myself. I've made personal ones where I put sublimation on an umbrella, right? Did that countless times because the material for an umbrella is polyester, so you can sublimate it. But what I've never done was an umbrella, which what they call it, like second line. I know I'm not sure if there's a rule on how many panels you're supposed to have, but this had 8 panels because I just had to get whatever would get here via Prime. But I had to decorate it up, and it was just your standard Mardi Gras colors. I'd never gone and put feathers on an umbrella. Zani Mani gave me the idea to put the beads hanging from the sides of it, because when it all came, he just took it and he just draped it over. He was like, "Ooh, this," and I thought it was amazing. So we incorporated some of Zani Mani's idea. And I wanted bigger feathers, but they wouldn't have gotten here in time based off of when they requested this. So I got little, extra little feathers for the top. I think it came out pretty cute. And having basic skills in Silhouette Studio, I was able to keep it real simple. I didn't go too crazy with the design, trying to put a bunch of stuff like everywhere. I just made it really personal. It was for retirement, 41 years of service, and she was finally retiring. So I created a design that just said that, her name, 41 years of excellence, and the years. And because it had all these extra panels, I put the fleur de lis on there, which was an SVG. Some will say, learning to design and create from scratch, it makes all the difference. You can keep all the money in your pocket. And arranging designs, right? Doing every part of it can be very time consuming. So for the fleur de lis, I got that from Creative Fabrica. It was an SVG. That file also came with JPEGs and PNG files, which you can use in Silhouette Studio and then trace it to make it a vector. SVG stands for scalable vector graphic. So a vector is a vector, right? Whether you have it as an SVG, a PDF, an AI file, an EPS file, or if you use a free program like Silhouette Studio and you trace it. So once you trace it, you are able to release compound path and fill it in with color and now make it even more personalized, okay? So we're going to go through how I put this design together. It's just text, some offsetting, and filling it in with color. Real, not too much, I know for some who are like complete beginners, like you've never used a program before, it may seem a bit overwhelming. It does take for you to learn the tool, like at least be able to identify, open the program, scroll your mouse over each of the tools and just read the description that pops out and what they are. And you will be able to recreate something like this yourself. The list, it was so funny. As I was making the list of, this lesson is going to include, I was like, oh, wait, that's a lot of things. This may not seem simple to some people because we're going to use some text. We're going to use fill colors. We're going to use offsetting. We are going to scale, shifting things to the side to create like shadows. There is some compound path releasing in here, how to select multiple. So as I was listing them, I'm like, okay, wait, is this really simple? Is this beginner friendly? I promise you, it really is beginner friendly. It may not seem like it. It will seem a little scary, but if you just either go through my 10 plus years of videos or join our Essential Silhouette Studio program, you will learn to master it if that is your desire, or just learn to like navigate it, if that's what all you really want to do, is just learn to navigate it. So there's another picture here. We're going to open this one up. Okay, there we go. So I'll zoom in. And so you can see Zani Mani's little addition to it. We had the beads hanging down. And then the client actually sent a picture of her mom with the umbrella, which I thought was pretty cool. I'm so glad she sent that to me, as well as a video. So let's see if we can get this to play. Oh, wait, it's on this side. So you can see how it opened up, the beads and stuff hanging. So just from a beginner friendly, really simple, not too much, didn't really do too much on this design. It created a great impact. I'm also team small, team simple. Like, I like the simple things. Don't get me wrong. There are times where we go over the top and I stress over things and just like wanting something to pop. I've been in classes, and when we go through our design class, a lot of my students will say, I don't really work with just text a lot because they feel like it's not exciting. It's not like, there's no wow factor to it. It's what you do with the text afterwards that's going to be that wow factor. It may not seem like a wow factor when you're looking at it on screen, but when you really put some thought into like how you're going to set it up, just like in this case, just the personalization of it. And I asked them, because first they just said, make an umbrella. And I'm like, okay, well, can I add, about her retirement, how many years? So just those little personalized things, even though I didn't have a lot of splashes and splatters and backgrounds and all of those things, it still made an impact. It still made a difference. Hold on. I'm trying to get y'all to not move. Okay, hopefully this doesn't move now. Okay, let's see. Hello. Incredible greetings. Welcome everyone that just popped in over on TikTok. And thank you guys for the 3,000 likes. If you have not given this video a thumbs up, no matter which platform you are on, please do so. All right. Thank you. That was my first time doing like that much detail and adding the feathers and all those things on it. So it's pretty cool. My creative lounge students were able to, well, I'm saying members, they're not really students, but members were able to see me go through that process and, through sublimating it, adding the feathers and the beads. The playback for that will be up soon. I, haven't gotten it up yet, but it will be up soon. If you're in Creative Lounge, if not, there's a link for it in the description. You can join us in the Creative Lounge. All right. So we're going to go through how I just created the design. Okay. All right. So for the colors, because I was sublimating this, I'm not going to really show this part because then like that's just like a full-on training. That's something like our sublimation seminar when it comes to designing. Like my design classes, I've done other videos where I talk a lot about color charts and color codes. So I have my color chart printed out. I have it sublimated. I looked at that and I referenced it and I put the feathers up to the color chart to see which shade of purple, which shade of green, which shade of yellow was going to closely match it. So once I did that, I wrote down like what those hex codes were, or actually identified which ones they were, and I just sampled the colors. So this is how I got my color chart. I like working with color charts. She says it was fun to watch. Thank you for showing love on TikTok as well. But I love creating myself like color charts because, again, I like keyboard shortcuts. I like taking advantage of the advanced tools in Silhouette Studio when you have Designer, Designer Plus, or Business. And one of those things is the properties dropper. So instead of like moving my hand around like with my mouse a lot, because I do suffer pain in my wrist sometimes. So I try and minimize like the extra moving and kind of coming over here to hit this button and going back over here to the colors. So if I have everything kind of in one area, it minimizes. So if you didn't pick up, that's a gem. Okay. That's one of those like pro tips. If you hesitate to like with designing because it's like, oh my God, you have to keep moving around the screen. If you take the time to learn things like keyboard shortcuts and little things like putting your color charts closer to you, it will minimize the movement of your wrist, and especially if you suffer from pain in your wrist. I definitely create and save color charts thanks to you. Awesome. So like here, you're not going to see anything happen on the screen because I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut. I'm hitting I on my keyboard. Wait, hold on, there we go. I'm going to hit I on my keyboard, but you should see something pop up, which is my properties dropper. It turned blue. And then if I just click here, I'm going to hit I on my keyboard again. So I'm minimizing. I don't have to go and move over here and then sample, or go here, come up to my color palette and either sample the color, or if it was like here. So that would be like a lot of moving back and forth of, my mouse. But keyboard shortcuts allow me to do it more efficiently. All right. So first tip is just learn keyboard shortcuts. They are listed in Silhouette Studio in our class. I already have that page saved for you. Just have to download it, print it out. And the joy of the one that I have is I highlight my favorite keyboard shortcuts, ones that I'm going to use all the time so that you can keep up with me, and ones that I feel like are essential to learn first. But the keyboard shortcut is up here in help, and then the user manual. So help, user manual, and then it's the very last page. It's a PDF. Okay. So download that. And I don't know if I introduce myself, y'all. I keep doing that. I'm always so excited to just get into the teaching that I forget to introduce myself to people who are new here. I know some of you guys don't need the introduction. You know who I am, but for our guests who are just finding us on their timelines and things like that, I want to introduce myself. So I am Shakia, the professor. Our company is HS Ink 365. We do sell the best sublimation paper and ink. But before that, we were known as Silhouaholics Anonymous, because I had an addiction and a love for Silhouette Studio. And just like with other, addictions, we go to, the anonymous, whatever it is, anonymous, to be able to get help. So I wanted to be that help. So our company, our original business for Silhouette is called Silhouaholics Anonymous. We still kind of use that name, but just kind of having our own identity. You'll hear me say 365 Creative Academy, because we're just like, everything is just branded around 365 now. And just being a creative, like that's a word that's really, really close to my heart, is, just being very creative and being a creative. So that's the name of our company, 365 Creative Academy. And we have a wide variety of classes and trainings over on our site. You can definitely go and check it out. I don't know which one. Oh, okay, it is here. I was like, I didn't know which icon was the one for to bring it up on this screen. But this is our website, and there's a lot of classes. But you also can find them on our main site, shop.hsink365.com. And when you purchase classes over here, you also build up rewards points. So yeah, 365 Creative Academy does give you more buy now, pay later options than the shop site. So pick and choose which one you want to get your classes from, but they are there. All right. Like I said, I've been teaching this for nearly 10 years. I've been using Silhouette Studio for well over 11 years. Got it when my sister was pregnant with my niece. My niece is now 10, but I had it, my sister was only like 3 months old, so 3 months pregnant or something like that. So I've had Silhouette Studio for a while. Well, still the Silhouette Mesh system for a while, and I've been teaching it for nearly 10 years now. And I've done some of everything that you can think of. If you call out a project, I could let you know if it's possible to utilize Silhouette Studio or the Cameo for that project in some way, shape, or form. All right. So that's just who I am. And I know you guys are tired. Some people are going to watch this. Oh my God, 29 minutes. We haven't gotten to any teaching. Sorry. So at the 30-minute mark is where we're going to start, where I'm going to break down doing designs, text-based designs, using offsetting, filling with color. Are you guys ready? Was it worth it for just the background and seeing the results? So it wasn't like it was all bad, right? I mean, I showed you what the result will be once you learn how to do something like this. So I think it was 30 minutes well spent. Incredible morning. But if you're just coming on now, you're about to get into you came in right on time. You didn't miss anything. You can always go back to go see the pictures, but we're going to get into the design part now. I like interaction, y'all. I know I can kind of have you mesmerized, but you can watch the playback of it. Make yourself timestamp so you can go back to the part that's important to you. But I would love it if you guys were present in the moment. You had real reactions with me. If it's something that you did not know, if it was an aha moment, if I need to repeat something, I just want you guys to engage with me, say hello. So I know that these live videos, they help, they work. I see the views sometimes, but to me, they could be a little bit better. But for the people who are on, that's how I really know if I'm helping you in real time. If you communicate with me, if you engage with me, if you share it out, if you give it a like, that really, really helps and keeps me encouraged to keep doing these. It's beneficial for you guys. I know this. Like, your mom should say, you better get your education because I got mine. Well, I don't know. My mom and my grandma used to say that to us all the time. I don't know if that's a Black household thing, but I know this program. I come on here for you guys, but I don't know what all you really need if you're not talking to me and engaging with me. I don't know if I need to spend more time on the beginner stuff or if you're seasoned. It's like, hey, I know the beginner. I just need a little bit of a little bit more advanced stuff. Not quite able to pay for a class, but I would love to support you. But I don't know where you guys are if you don't communicate with me. So if you can just do me that solid, I'm helping you guys out. This is something that can help your business, your side hustle, help you just make extra cash. So if you guys can help me out with just engagement, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. All right. She says it could have been an hour. Then you said you got to pay. I mean, hey, look, I'm not knocking anybody's business practices and how they do it. So she said, could have been an hour. And then you said, you got to pay to see the rest. I mean, that is the culture of a lot of, things right now is to kind of show you that and say, all right, well, if you want to know how to make this umbrella, come join our masterclass, our challenge, our mastermind, whatever, but I'm not knocking anybody's practice. This is what I love to do and how I love to share with my creatives. I just want a little bit of love back. If I'm going to be on here, I'm not asking you for any money to just see the process. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost you anything to double tap the screen, say hello, share it out. It doesn't cost you anything to do any of those. All right. Okay. So we're not going through. I know one of the times someone said, well, I don't even know how to open it up, start text. I can't go back through that, y'all. We'll be here forever. My essentials is well over 40 hours for the first training. That was 30 days. It's like 43 hours to teach it and to go through everything step by step. Then we had a 13-week refresher and a 10-week review. It's a lot to learn. You're not going to get everything and every part of it from one video, but we do have some that kind of go over just kind of getting started. Go check out those videos, okay? What would be a great challenge for you? What would be a great challenge? Let me know what your thoughts are. You haven't missed anything yet. Just maybe seeing the pictures of the umbrella that I did, but we're going to do the design now. Okay. So make sure you guys double tap the screen or give the video a like, guys. Click out of the live chat. Give the video a thumbs up. Let's help push this video. Share it out. Even if you are to delete it after I'm done, at least hit the share button, guys. All right. So here's what we're going to create. I'm going to just kind of zoom in on each one just so you can see. It's pretty much the same concept for each set of words. It's just a different arrangement of the colors. So we have the main text. You guys can do that. I will not be hosting. You're in Creative Lounge. You can see how I did it. You can watch that back and try it for yourself. Will I be hosting a challenge for it? Absolutely not. But you guys can definitely try it out, especially if you're in Creative Lounge and you saw the whole process and the supplies and all of that. All right, so we have our text. We have a thin offset to give it an outline. Then there is another offset on that to just add another color, because there were 3 colors. I really wanted to incorporate the 3 colors plus the black. The black, I will tell you, was an afterthought because of the fleur de lis and it having a black outline. Without the black, the letters seem to be a little disconnected from the like the whole design together just was like a bit of a disconnect. And these are things that are more design, right? So knowing to add that black is not about knowing how to use the program, which is why I always consider them to be 2 different things. That's about learning design concepts, layout, composition. Like that's where that skill comes in at, right? So without that black, I mean, it's not that it's bad, but it's just a slight disconnect. And the black would seem out of place. If I remove the black from each of these, then that looks a little out of place. It might just be me. So for you guys, right? And this is also gives you an opportunity to see how other people think, right? Your clients may not think the way that you think. If you were a client of mine, now it's probably hard to unsee it, but if you were designing or if you were a client, would you have an issue with it, without the black outline? But now that you've seen it, do you see the difference in it? So let me know your thoughts on with or without the black outline. Whether you come back to answer that or you do it in real time, what are your thoughts on the design with and without the black outline? Do you feel like it makes a difference? So we're going to undo to bring that back. Because at first I had just the colors, and then when I brought this in and realized I had the black, I'm like, oh, I need some black. So I added another offset to make, to add the black in. So as you can see, just alternating the colors, but same colors, just in different arrangements, just so we can have a nice blend of the colors. And one color didn't it wasn't dominating. Oh, wait, I meant to take that off the screen. It does look a little bland without the black, okay? Incredible morning. The black outline makes the letter parts more stand out more. With it being on white, I think the black makes it stand out. So I think it looks like, let's say if I did not have this, right? Let's do. Wrong layer. Or if I were to simply remove this. By itself, it's not bad. Both options will work, whether I had just and that's how it originally was. It was a thinner, green. It wasn't the thicker one, but once I added the black, I needed it to be thicker. But by themselves, it's not bland. It's not that it's something that's bad, because I was doing that by itself. This would look amazing. Like I said, for me, it was the thick black outline on the other element, where now, you just need a little something. But I wouldn't say it was bland without it. It's just that when you're combining it with something else, and your design might change as you're continuing to add to something, it might, make something else seem like, okay, it needs a little bit more, and you'll have to make those adjustments. Okay. The black helps the other colors pop. So when you're looking at it by itself, and I just showed the 2 versions by itself, did you feel like those did not pop, even though they did not have the black? Like, did they not pop without the black when I showed the 2 Marys stacked up and the thick green or the thinner green? Did that have any pop to it for you? The black outline makes the letter stand out and easier to read. Black always adds a dramatic visual. However, if the average customer hadn't seen the image with the black, I don't believe they would have missed it. Exactly. Incredible morning, professor. Black definitely made a difference. It looks more cohesive. And that's the thing. So where it made it cohesive with the entire design as a whole. But if I did not have this, or if this one was white or just like nothing around it, it wouldn't have made a big difference. All right, so let's see. Somebody's comment was filter out to protect the community's experience. So if you commented after LaShonda's, I like the black outline, I don't see your comment. Host that challenge and make them. It's not about making coins for me. Give the people what they want. It's just I'm not moved by necessarily like money. It's time wise, and that thing took a really, really long time. I could not see myself doing that in a challenge per se. If I can just say, even if I did do it in a challenge, it's the cost of it. 1 month of the Creative Lounge is $36.50. So if you wanted to do that and learn it, like I don't feel like I have to be on live. You can challenge yourself. So if you wanted the tools and just to kind of see how that's done in a full step-by-step, you can join the Creative Lounge. Just pay for 1 month and then you don't have to pay for it anymore because you now got that experience. You see how to do it. So that's how you can build your own challenge, is by joining the Creative Lounge, and all the things that we show in there, you can challenge yourself to try that for yourself. But as far as having a dedicated challenge for it, nah, I'm not that moved by money. All right, so this all started as one string of text. Just so I had my idea of what I wanted it to be. I will say that Cricut has one up on Select Studio in that you can break things down into layers and they would still be as a text box. So no, is it layers? Or I think that's how it is. Like you can separate the word, like wherever there's a space in it, it will separate those and it'll still be text that you can edit. You can't do that with Silhouette Studio. So you either have to make individual text boxes. So this could have easily been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 6 to put those together text boxes. I did not know at the time when I was designing this that I was going to stack 41 years and of excellence. So I would not have like really thought to make a text box where it was Mary and then the 41 years, but have that stacked and then of excellence. So there's a lot of different ways that you could start this off, right? If you wanting to go in and maybe make adjustments and edit, you had to maybe change the year, change the name, change, how many years, then you want to keep this in a format where you can continue to edit the text. That wasn't my case, but I am going to duplicate this. So what I did was I ungrouped it. So once you ungroup, it's going to make all of the letters individual elements, So we're just going to go in, and here is where those keyboard shortcuts come in at, because I can do this really, really fast. Control G, select Control G. So I don't have to go and right click, scroll up to find group, select it, right click, scroll up to find group. I can just use my keyboard shortcuts. All right. And then I think, did I add the out? I don't remember which order I did it. I'm just going to show you, like, based off of the final one, I'm just going to show you kind of how we did that. So now 41 goes here, of excellence goes here. We're going to select the 41 and years, and then here at the top or over here in our transform panel, there is alignment. That's the first option. Right here, we're going to align center. And you see how it pushed that 41 over. Of excellence, we're going to do the same thing. But what's different here is my of and my 41 are not lined up. So we stay in our transform panel under align, and we select those top two, and I'm going to align it to the top because I like the bit of space in between the 41 compared to of. It's too close. So I'm going to align that to the top. And if I wanted more space, now that they are aligned and it's the same amount of space in between it, I can use my arrow key to go up or down because now those two elements are even. We don't want this to move. Like, I want this to basically move and operate as one. So although we group together the 40 and the 1, the years, we don't ungroup them to regroup them again. We just select those and we now make this a new group. If I ungroup, it does not do like it did last time and make everything an individual box, because this is a group by itself. So it will ungroup to these two being two different groups. And if I hit ungroup again, then it will ungroup to individual elements. I'm sorry if that bored you. I'm just really big on the details and just you guys getting an understanding of how designing works. I teach design. I use Silhouette Studio to teach design, but I'm not really like just teaching you how to use Silhouette Studio. My goal is to help you guys be better designers. All right, so we're going to go ahead, group that together, select and Control G group. Now I'm going to use my transform panel again because I want to see this all centered. I don't want it to be, I mean, it could be where I had it, everything is lined up at the bottom, but I wanted them to be centered on each other. So now we select all 4 areas and we align middle. And so that's going to put that right there in the middle. And that's going to help when it comes to the extra element as well, like when all of those are lined up. All right, so that's how we did the text. Simple enough, right? Yeah, they really should work on their layers panel. They really, really should. She says that's so true because the Creative Lounge has a lot of challenges. Yeah, they're built in. Thank you so much for the shares. All right. So now that we have that, as you can see, I started off with a different purple. I just went in here and I picked any purple, but that's not the one that I am using for the design. So I'm going to pull this over just so that you can see. You got to be very, very careful when it comes to selecting colors. Color charts is the better way. Like, it's the best option because you're never going to be surprised. Whatever printer you have, whatever media you use, you want color charts printed out on all of those things. I have color charts printed out from each sublimation printer that I have, and I have them labeled. I submate them to fabric. I've submitted them to hard surfaces like a tumbler. I have submitted them to glitter cardstock so that if I'm doing glitter cardstock or glitter HTV, I know what that looks like. From my regular pigment ink printer, I print out onto glossy paper, the matte paper that I use, Jet Pro 3G. From my dye-based printer, I have done the same thing. My glossy paper, my glossy sticker sheets, I print out my color charts from my Canon TC20. I have color charts printed out from that. I sent color charts to my DTF printers, all 3 of them, so I know that how their particular printers print out. I've sent color charts to what's the other one? Oh, my Roland BN20. Printed that on the paper, printed it on my matte vinyl, my glossy vinyl. I have a load of color charts from the different printers because they all give different results. And it can be the same printer, but different media, and the tones and shades of those colors can be different. So I love color charts. And then from a computer standpoint, all monitors are different. You could take something and look at it on one monitor. It's going to look one way. You can look at that same image on your phone. It's going to look different. You can look at that on a TV. I always give the example, if you go into somewhere like Best Buy, Walmart, Target, where there's a bunch of TVs and the same thing is being displayed, the color, the clarity looks different on each one of them based on the quality of that television. Your monitors are going to be the same way. But what you cannot deny is what comes out and what you see physically with your eyes. So if you print out your color charts, there's no denying that this is the color that you want, no matter what it looks like on screen. Now, if you want to create something where you want to save it as a PNG or a JPEG and you want that, to look a certain way, as a mock-up on screen, you can make it a certain color. But for printing, it is so important, especially something like Summation and a converted printer, to use color charts. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. Y'all know I love color and I love educating you guys about printers and color charts and colors. But I just want you to see that I did make, this wasn't my final color. So I made some adjustments. All right. So to put an offset, I want all of the offsets to be the same. So you can do one of two things. You can figure out everything on one, right? You don't have to do all of them. And we're going to come here to our offset tool, go to offset. And the thing with Select Studio is, unlike like Photoshop and some of the other ones where you can go and say to go to 100%, go to 10%, 20%, even 200%. You don't really get that with this. So it's sometimes hard to tell how thick an outline will be. So it might be that you'll have to do a test print of it just to kind of see, and then go in and make adjustments. But I'm going to just, stick with this one. In our class, I go over offsetting and really understanding how to adjust your distance, because there's a lot of factors. You wouldn't be able to just go off of this and say, okay, I'm going to follow the professor and I'm going to go 0.04, because it depends on the element that you are offsetting. And just to keep our numbers nice and whole, I'm just going to go 0.05 for this. Okay, so there we go. And then I can hit apply. I would write that down. That first one was 0.05. Okay. I see individual boxes. We teach about how to read your screen, how to know what is there. Is this one whole thing? Is it two separate pieces? Because they're both selected. Once I add color to it, it fills both. But if I click off and I only click on this, like let's say I click on the Y, it's not going to change everything because they were not grouped together. So I'm going to group mine. Okay. And then I can do either another offset, or I can duplicate this background. I'm going to change the color, send it to the back, and then move it for it to be, like a little shadow. Select it, come up here to my line color, and I'm going to remove the color. So I'm like, okay, if I like that, I may want to do it that way, or I can make a duplicate, try out a different offset, write that down. And then now when it comes to the rest of them, I'll know exactly what, how I want to set it up. If I wanted, like I did the other one, let's get rid of the yellow. So where now I'm going to do y'all know I like duplicating stuff. Well, if you don't know, I like duplicating stuff. If you're new here, I'm big on duplicating. Okay. No, wait, no, wrong one. I'm trying to delete or remove the yellow. There we go. So I'm just going to select it all. I'm going to do another offset. It's going to show me 2 lines, but it's not going to give me 2 lines. And let me cancel and zoom in for y'all, because I know TikTok, y'all can't even see it because it's off the screen. My bad. Okay, so we're going to offset this, and I'm going to give it a little bit more weight. Let's say if I want a little bit more space between it. So let's just go 0.075. Okay, and then apply. We're going to group that. We're going to, I'm going to do another offset and make that 0.015. Apply, fill that in with some black, use my arrow key to move that over and down, group it. But then I have to select it and turn off my line colors, right? So we can see just offsetting, using your arrows. There's a lot of different cool effects that you can create. All right. So I'm going to go to my color chart, my color palettes for the next one. Because you saw how I had to go up there, turn it off, turn off the line color. Because my color charts already have no line color, when I use these, I'm not going to have to worry about moving around my screen so much. So now now that I know exactly how I want it set up, I'm going to select my first one. My first layer. I'm going to offset it. And I knew that that one was 0.05. We're going to use our keyboard, not our keyboard, keyboard shortcuts or properties dropper. I'm going to make that green. Now, I can't really group them together because it'll group everything, but I'll just go here, group. Now for each line, my green is grouped together. I'm going to select it all again. I'm going to go offset. We did 0.075, and I got to wrap this up because I hear my husband is back and we have to go visit both sets of grandparents. So, and he's back now from picking up groceries. So we're going to hit, I did not say 0.5, delete. I definitely said 0.075. I don't know why it jumped down. Apply. I'm going to hit I on my keyboard. I'm going to, okay, it's not working. I don't know why. Make that yellow. See, no outline. I'm going to, all right. So those all connected. So if I click here, it's actually all one piece. So I don't have anything to go back in and group because on each of these, it made it one piece. Now my yellow here, I will have to select because it did not. All right, so let's go here. Hold down shift, select the green, select the purple, select the green, and I should be left. All right, what are you doing? All right, hold down shift, select the purple, select the green. There we go. I'm left with just the yellow. Control G to group it together. Now, I showed the offset way of making that additional shadow, right? And I would have to do the offset, move them for like each individual one, and it may not be the same. When you purchase upgrades like Designer Edition, Designer Plus, or Business, there is an option called Shadow. So if I come over here to what looks like I call it a black and white cookie, the last one is Shadow. I'm going to click on Shadow, which is the middle one. I'm going to just add color to it. I'm going to come away from the grays. Why are you acting crazy? It's like my slider isn't moving. Hello. All right. All right. I'm just going to go to pen, shadow. What the hell just happened? All right. I have no, hold on, y'all, because it's, where are these colors coming from? My system is going completely crazy. I have no idea where all this. Well, alrighty then. Okay, click off. Let's undo. Because I have no idea what you was going through. Alrighty. Okay, let's just go no shadow. Because it's not supposed to put it around every single element. Let's exit out. Let me see. All right, something funky is going on because it normally doesn't go around each individual one. When you have things grouped together, it normally just gives you one shadow. I have no idea what it's doing right now, and it's really making me upset. Why is it giving me a shadow around each one of these? That is a total glitch, because anytime you group, like you select them, even if they're not grouped together, it will normally give you a shadow around just like the whole thing. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing that. Anywho, all right. So since it's acting cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna group it. It's gonna force me to group it. I normally don't have to group these to get one shadow. So we're gonna go shadow. And I'm gonna go pan shadow. Pan shadow. This is not, it's starting to like not seem as easy as, I mean, the offset is seeming easier, but I don't know why the system is acting haywire. Probably because I have too many tabs open, but hey. So I'm going to pan that one, and I'm going to now release shadow. But by doing it with the shadow and panning them together, I know that they all have that shadow or that offset that's the same distance to the right and down, or if I would have moved it up and to the left without going in and clicking on each one individually. But now that it's in place, I can click on that. You see, it's a separate element. And I can make that black. And if I wanted to move it more, I could. And now we can see the importance of doing it together, because we see how Mary, it doesn't have, like, its black isn't the same distance over and down. So if you were to do them individually, you would end up going in and doing a lot of tweaking to make sure that they looked cohesive. So now I would have to take this one and move it over and down some. Okay. So that's the excuse me. That is how I did the text. The text. Of course, there is different color combinations in it. So I would be able to, like over here, I group them together. So we're going to ungroup, ungroup, ungroup. And again, it only ungroups the groups that are already together. If I click on this layer, I hit I can make that yellow. Why do you have a shadow on you? No shadow. Okay. I'm going to click on the green. Oh, duh. Haha. This has shadows on it. I was like, why is it giving a shadow? Duh, Shakia, use properties dropper. These have shadows. All right. So we're going to click on that green layer and make that purple. I'm going to click on the yellow and make it green. And then I have my black, or I can make that one black, this one purple. So now you're able to just try out different color combinations. All right. If you have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat about the simple text effects and offsetting. No, disregard the shadow part. I don't know why I was acting crazy. I'm going to move on to this SVG and how you would separate this to have the individual layers to fill them in with color. All right, let's see. Can you drop the gem for them when they're having an issue and the screen is moving choppy and they can't get things to line? Oh, good one, good one, good one. Okay, so what she's asking me to show you guys, I'm not sure if you've ever experienced this. I'm gonna create the issue first. Okay. So If any of you guys have ever had this issue, raise your hand. You're trying to move something around. You want it to be in a specific spot, but it's moving choppy and you can't get it in like the exact spot that you want. If you've ever experienced that, it's because under the page setup grid, you have snap to grid. Snap to guides can also affect this as well if you pull down any guides. So I recommend taking off snap to guide. Same thing with smart snapping. It can also cause issues. If you want something to be in a specific spot, turn off all of your snapping. Now it moves smoothly. It doesn't chop. And you can move it up as much, wherever you want it to be. If you're trying to use like your arrows and you just want to nudge it a little bit, look at how small those steps are. But if I go snap to grid, see how big those steps are? But without snap to grid, look at how small the steps are. So you can get precise placement if you just go to your page setup, go to your grid panel and turn off snap to grid, snap to guides, and smart snapping. And you can always turn it back on like for different elements, but for that one, make sure that they are all off. Thank you for that suggestion. All right. No apologies needed for explaining your style of teaching. Sometimes you gotta, no apologies, but explanation sometimes is needed because some people don't realize how much valuable information they miss out on because they're turned off by the length of a video. And I know that there's some people that have a lot of fluff and a lot of unnecessary information. Some people might consider this part to be unnecessary in a video, but I know that if I'm on for that long, the majority of the content is all valuable and not a whole lot of fluff. All right. She says, got it. Thank you. So someone over here needed that one, LaShonda. So she says, got it. Thank you. Thanks. That is annoying, not being able to move smoothly. So your gym suggestion helps somebody over on YouTube. All right. I'm going to make this black. And as you can see, I'm going to sample even this one and it still turns black. I do need a line color though, because without the line color, I'm not going to know where my elements are. So I can actually, I don't really need a line color because I know SVGs, right? I took the time to understand how vector files work, how SVG files work. So I know that once I release, everything is, filled in, everything is solid. I'm not panicking. I'm actually going to hold down shift, click on the very top, and I'm going to make everything else in here a color. So I didn't really need my lines. I just needed two different colors. I need to be able to tell the difference between what was the background and what was, in front or on top. Now that I can see, these are still individual elements. I can click on them. Okay, I don't know why you're not changing. So we're just going to come over here. Now I can do these one by one, click, and then there are ways of doing it where you would click on one, hold down shift, click on another element and be able to change that, or hold down shift. I'm going to click on all of the green and I'm going to group them together. So that's one way of selecting multiple items, holding down shift. If you guys are enjoying this, please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the chat, is this helpful for you guys? If you are new to it, or maybe you've been kind of seasoned, but you didn't know some of these things, or it's just kind of helping clear things up, giving you a better understanding of it, let me know in the chat if you are interested in really mastering and taking full advantage of everything that Silhouette Studio has to offer. Make sure you guys go over to our website. Okay. The Essential Silhouette Studio, 55% off. 55% off. Essential Silhouette Studio. The link is in the description. The link is in the bio. Simple Saturdays. Simple Saturdays will get you 55% off of Essential Silhouette Studio. We do have buy now, pay later options on the website, which is we have Sezzle, Shop Pay, and then PayPal, buy now, pay later. I have to get everything set up on the Academy site because they do offer Affirm, Klarna, and Afterpay on the Academy site. So I gotta get all that part set up. But for now, you can go over there and you can build up rewards points so that you can use it towards future purchases if you purchase it on the shop site, the shop.hs365 site. This code works on the shop site, not the Academy site. Okay, it only works on the shop site. 55% off. If you would like to join the best Silhouette Studio training, you get a full 30 days step-by-step work along. You get a 13-week refresher, a 10-week review, and monthly study hall sessions, access to the student union, practice lessons, watch me works, watch me designs, and so much more when you are enrolled. And it's just a one-time payment. It's not a monthly subscription at this time. It's a one-time payment. Okay. This is helpful. Thumbs up. Very educational and informative. TPTM, the professor taught me. Let's see. Yes, always very helpful. Yes, it is helpful. Very helpful. Very, very helpful. What is the difference between the dropper tool in the fill panel and the toolbar dropper? Great, great, great question. So the dropper in the fill panel here, or if you are on this side over here, and that dropper, that just samples color. That just samples color. So you saw how I had, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to add a shadow to this. I'm going to add a line to this. Okay. With this dropper, I will click here and it's only going to sample that purple. But if I use the properties dropper, all of the properties of that element that I'm clicking on will be transferred over. So if I click here and I now click on the yellow with the shadow, it becomes yellow with the shadow. It becomes purple with the outline. It's going to be just green. So let's say I do the yellow with the shadow. If I come over here to the dropper and I select the black, I still have the shadow. I'm not changing that property. I'm only sampling the color. This is also true for if you have backgrounds. So if you had a pattern background and you wanted to sample a color within that pattern background, you would use your color dropper. If you wanted to fill that shape, that text, that number or whatever with that pattern, you could use the properties. If you had text that was still in text mode, and well, no, not this one. I want to go over here and I'm going to go using the prop dropper. Okay. This is really small. Can barely see it. If I click on I, which brings up my properties dropper, and I select this, it's going to make it the size that font is. It's going to make it the color, everything. It's going to sample the properties of that particular element that you clicked on. You can hit I on your keyboard, and it's this icon right here. Or you can hit I on your keyboard. The keyboard shortcuts work with the free version as well. This is very helpful and a refresher. Okay. You're welcome. All right. Now, last part of how I did this, once this was set up and it was filled in with color. Oh, wait, you know what? I didn't change this side. My bad. Another way that you can select is to click and drag and select, hold down shift, deselect. Well, click on the black layer. That's going to deselect it. So I now only have those elements. And then, of course, we're just going to sample the purple again and group that together. I want to change this. I'm going to come through here, hold down shift, click, Control G. I grouped all that together. It doesn't matter the order you do it in, but if you want it to be grouped, that's what you would do to just group them together. So now we're going to make sure that our Mary is all grouped. Our 41 years is all grouped with all of the layers, and we're going to make you just a little bit smaller to be proportional to everything that's here. We're going to group you. Oh, wait, I'm missing a whole bunch of elements. All right, didn't group it all together. Group. Make you a little bit smaller. So I had to verify on TikTok. I'm going to move this one over some. Make me a couple of duplicates. Select them all. I'm going to come up here or open up my transform panel on this side. I'm going to align to the middle, and I'm going to space horizontally. They're still pretty tight, so we'll just grab this side over here, move that over some more, select everything, space. I like that spacing just for visual purpose because I actually did these all separate. If you were doing them within a design, you would want them to be, spaced properly. But that's how I did that. And if anything looks a little bit off, so like for me, even though this is centered based off of the height of here, it looks a little bit off to me, right? So sometimes I have to make executive decisions based off of how it looks. So if I were doing this as one string, I would actually take Mary and the 19, like the year, because they're single lines. And I would actually move them down just a tad to where they look centered on the fleur-de-lis instead of everything all together, right? Because it's top heavy on the top than it is on the bottom. But that little curve part, it can look a little bit off with it being centered like that. So I centered it more so on this part right here. So those are decisions that you would end up making in your design process. While we can center it, it doesn't always look the best visually, like just looking at it. And you may have to make those changes, okay? Reese, yes, thank you, LaShonda. This is Silhouette Studio. It is the program that is used to control the Silhouette Cameo, Silhouette Portrait, Curio machines. But it is a standalone program, guys. Anybody can get, excuse me, can get this software. You don't have to have a machine. You don't have to get the pay upgrades. Technically, everything that I did can be accomplished from the free version. You just won't use won't have a properties dropper and you won't have the shadows. But adding the text, customizing your colors, sampling colors, offsetting, you won't have shadow. But those things you will be able to do from the free version. You're just going to come over here. You're going to create a free account. come to Silhouette Studio and you're going to download and install it. If you have an older system and it's not, it's not the greatest, right? It might move a little slow. I do not recommend downloading the most current version unless you are also getting one of the updated machines. And if you have an older computer, but you desire to have a Cameo 5 or even a Cameo 4, you may want to save up to also get a better computer because the system requires a lot of resources as far as memory, hard drive space, graphics card, and your system will end up shutting down a lot because you just don't have enough resources. So although, you may need a cutter, that's sometimes a determining factor for some people is if they get a Cameo in order to use the program, they also need a better computer and they may not have the funds for that right now. But something like a Cricut, because it is web-based to design and cut, that can be a better choice for you financially, but you may end up running into some issues like doing larger print and cut. So if you don't have a good system, try to maybe find some of the older machines, marketplaces, OfferUp, eBay, places like that. Shoot for a Cameo, like the original Cameo, a Cameo 2, a Cameo 3, or a Cameo 4 Plus. A Cameo 4 standard 12 or a Cameo 4 Plus. If you get the Pro, you have to go up, to a version that may not work. If you have the 5, you may not be able to get the newer version. So if you want to get a Silhouette machine to be able to do bigger print and cuts, wider cuts, cut with no mat, and not have to get a specialty vinyl, Cricut offers matless cutting, but you have to use smart vinyl, and their smart vinyl is cut to 13 inches wide. That's not the standard that you're going to go into a store and find. Caesar inside of a store, if you're buying it retail, 12 inches. With a Cameo, you can cut to that 12 inches matless. So there's a couple different factors that might, sway you one way or the other based on, your needs and your financial situation. But if you simply want to design, you have no desire to have a machine. If you have an older system, you're going to go to legacy versions. You're going to scroll way back down to version 4.370, 4.370, and you're going to install that one. If you have a Windows, get the 32-bit. Don't do 64. Even if you have a 64-bit computer, do the 32-bit. It's going to make a world of difference, okay? There is a list of keyboard shortcuts. Go to Help, User Manual. It's the very last page. Thanks. So that means if you use the keyboard shortcuts, it's for property. No. So the properties dropper has a keyboard shortcut of the letter I. If you are using the regular version, so look at my panel over here, right? So look at this panel and what's available. If I go down to the basic standard version or standard edition, I lose that. It doesn't matter if I hit I on my keyboard. I'm not going to get that option because it's no longer there. It's not a part of the free basic version. You have to have Designer Edition Plus, or Business Edition to have the dropper. And then when you hit I, that comes up. Still learning my Silhouette. I just know how to do the basic print and cut, basic cut. I did upgrade to Silhouette Studio, not Pro Edition, Business Edition. I have the Cameo 4. Well, CJ Spice, if you have not enrolled in our Essential Silhouette Studio and you really have a desire to learn, invest in yourself, invest in learning it. If you look at my Facebook page, I don't think I've really done a whole lot of, it's easier to make posts on Facebook with pictures and things like that. I might need to make a montage of all the things that I have created via Silhouette Studio and via a Cameo, and just knowing the tools and my design skills over the years has helped me facilitate some of these designs. I've been designing for 26 years. So I am my level is a little bit different, but you can definitely get there as well. I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do because I know designing. I know the programs. And I took the time to learn it. Yes, I was able to learn it starting in high school, but it didn't stop there. I'm always practicing. I'm always in the system. I don't care if I have an order. I just create silly things just to get familiar with, certain techniques and certain tools. And I apply that to any new program that I start to learn. Invest in yourself. If you're not able to do it just by watching videos and you need more guided help, our class is where you need to be at. If you are applying what you learn and you are doing this for monetary gain, you will definitely make your money back just from gaining the experience and being able to work faster, be able to get more jobs done because you're not spending so much time trying to figure out those little minute things. 55% off with the code Simple Saturdays. Okay. So we don't have a class. A class will never, ever, 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 ever get you to where you need to be. A class will never, hear me clearly. A class will never get you to the level that you need to be. You need to be in a program. You need to be somewhere where it is guided, or just taking multiple classes, or create a class, I'm doing air quotes, up for yourself by going through multiple videos, taking notes, the same way that we did when we were back in school and you are studying. But a single class will never. That's why I don't like using, hey, I have a class for this, because there's always more to learn. I encourage you guys, even if you take like a single class with me, it's only going to give you, the bare, not say bare minimum, because I never give the bare minimum. I don't know what that means. That's not my vocabulary, but there's always more. But when you're connected with a program, Essential Silhouette Studio, the Creative Lounge, you're going to get more value out of being in something that you have consistent and ongoing help and training. Professor is the best. I've learned everything from her. Oh, my phone went dead over on TikTok. Uh-oh. I didn't realize, and I don't have my charger here because I had to take it out of my office. So I lost TikTok. All right. But I got to go, y'all, because I hear him calling the little one to make sure that he is ready, because we had to go visit my dad. My dad is stuck at home. His legs were broken because he was in a car accident. And then my mother-in-law's birthday is tomorrow. So we're going to go see her, and I'm not even dressed. So I got to go. I made the children get up and get dressed, but I'm not dressed. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I look forward to seeing you in one of our sessions. We do have sessions right now. It's like it was every Wednesday. So we have one more session next week, Wednesday, and then one more the following week after that, as far as our review period, because we had to skip this week, Wednesday, because I had no power. And then after that, it will be monthly check-ins. But if I'm designing something and it's not really scheduled out when I'm doing them. If I'm designing something, I think it's great for you guys to learn. I'll send out an email. Hey guys, I'm doing a watch me work on Zoom. Go to your dashboard to get the link and you can watch me, design. You don't have to say anything. I like it when you guys talk to me during those sessions, but a lot of people come in and they just watch the process, and that's perfectly fine. But you want to get in the room. You want to get in the program. It's a great program to be a part of. If you knew about this program years ago for 2 years and you never joined, now it's going to cost you a little bit more to get in the program, but it's still well worth it. Okay. All right, y'all. Is the link in here? Yes. So if you go into the description, the link is there, or just go to our website. Oh, you know what? I just realized it wasn't on I just had this banner going the whole time and it wasn't on there. Hold on. Let me put this in here for future reference. shop.hsink365.com. Okay, there we go. So that's the website. You can go straight there, scroll down. It's on the main page, but there is a direct link in the description of this video. All right, y'all. Until next time, excuse me, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.